Most of these things I don't wanna say.
I'm on the craziest girl at my high school, and I don't mean fun crazy. I know you guys have been waiting for the story times, and I'm finally all done with high school, so I'm gonna start doing like one really good one a week. I'm only gonna tell these stories from my personal experience. I don't want to spread like any false information, any false rumors, so if I don't know, I won't be sharing the information. But what I do know is that this girl came to our high school. I forget which year, but she came to our high school. She was all the rave. She was super pretty. She seemed to be super nice. I think I know why she came to our school, but I'm not for sure, so I'm not gonna say it. I never really had a big run-in with her until my best friend at the time started dating her ex. I always have heard things because she went through a lot of friend groups and there was just always some kind of drama attached to that, you know? So anyway, my best friend starts dating her ex. They broke up. She said she didn't cheat. He said she did. She said, I don't know what's true, but basically he meets my best friend, and when I tell you, these two together are the perfect couple. I can't even explain. Like, they're so in love. They're gonna get married. If they don't, I don't believe in love. This girl also gets a boyfriend around the same time. They're both moved on. Great. No, not great, because she's not. She keeps finding ways to text her ex, which is now my best friend's boyfriend, so you know, it's unsettling. They're a happy couple. Leave them alone. He never answers her. He keeps blocking her. Eventually gets to the point where she literally is texting him through her friend's phone. She like sent him a song that like reminded her of him. I'm just like, what? You have a boyfriend. I remember my friend showing me like a DM where she was like, my mom saw you driving today. I was thinking of you. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, it gets to the point where she literally texts him through her friend's phone and is kind of like blackmailing him to talk to her in a way. I'm not going to say why, you know, those are her reasons. That's not for me to talk about on the internet. And my best friend is hanging out with her boyfriend. So, you know, she stands on business and is like, look, if you need to talk to him, like, I'll be right here on the phone with him, but you can call if you need. So the girl's like, never mind. So it's just kind of at a point where, you know, she has a boyfriend. She shouldn't be texting her ex. So this is where I come in. I'm very good at confrontation. I'm also very good with my words. So me and my best friend sit down and we type a long letter for her that's very nice and direct. It wasn't mean whatsoever. The worst part was the end where we were just like, look, if you need help from your ex, we're gonna have to screenshot these texts and send them to your boyfriend because what is going on? She reads the text, but she doesn't answer it. And of course we go to school that week and hear that my best friend apparently sent her some mean text. Obviously no one believed this because, you know, my best friend at the time is so unproblematic. Literally, no one batted an eye when she said something. No, it goes mute for a while, and then we're at the point where my best friend's boyfriend needs his clothes back from this girl. So my friend texts her the first time and asks, and she's just like, well, why doesn't my ex pick it up? Then my best friend fought back and said he doesn't want to waste the gas. So she pulls the I'm not home right now, which is fine. So my best friend texts again and asks for the clothes again, and just saying that she'll swing by to grab them if you leave them on the front porch. Swings by, no one's there. She doesn't get out of her car. There was really no response, so she just kind of went on with her life. And the girl then said she gave away all of his stuff, which didn't make sense for reasons, but I don't want to get the story wrong, so we're just gonna continue. Anyway, this girl's mom ends up texting the girl's ex's, my best friend's boyfriend, and the whole thing is kind of complicated, basically saying that my best friend and her boyfriend's little sister were like harassing this girl. Just everyone knows that that's not true. This girl's mom also called my best friend a horse. Like, what? Sorry, but if you're over the age of 30 and you need to talk crap about high school girls, what are you doing? Her mom has literally made so many girls feel bad about themselves, like almost bullied out of friend groups. Like, I know this is a fact for sure because I have witnessed it. But regardless of the fact, this whole thing just goes on for way too long, and I'm like walking in the hallway behind her and she just doesn't care about who's around her, I guess, because I just hear her talking about this whole scenario completely wrong. Like, she's telling the story. Oh, I messed up on those. Telling the story so wrong and calling my best friend a fan. My best friend doesn't even say this girl's name, let alone act like a fan. And I made a story time about that whole kind of interaction as well, but I've been very careful about the story times that I share because I did it once to this other girl. Actually, that girl might top craziest chick. I don't even know. I'm not gonna say that because that's mean, but I did do like a story time about homecoming drama, and she made it seem like I was bullying her because I was calling out all the bullying everything I went through being her friend. Like, what? That'll be another story time. I just don't understand. I'm trying to do these as graceful as possible because, you know, like, I'm not a mean person. I don't like to talk bad about people, but I'm not afraid to spill the truth. And, like, right out of high school, no one probably knows who I'm talking about, but basically this whole encounter with this girl lasted, like, a year and a half, I swear. It's like she forgot me and my best friend at the time literally, like, lived through each other. Like, everything I knew, she knew. Like, it was like our lives were one, you know? So pretty much the craziest part of all that was just the fact that she still had a boyfriend. It's one thing if you're still hung up on your ex and, like, you miss him and are trying to ruin someone's relationship, but you have a boyfriend. And there's been other weird allegations with that relationship, but that's not for me to talk on. But I'm ready to go. I actually really like my makeup today. I think it looks super cute and summery. So I hope you guys have a great day. There's a little story time for you guys.
Get ready with me while I talk about things I got in trouble for with a really strict dad. So these are things that I think a child would not normally get in trouble for, but I guess we'll see. So starting off strong, I didn't get him or make him a birthday card when I was like 8 or 9. So me and my brother got sent to our rooms for the rest of the day. We tried to call our mom to tell her what happened, and then we got in trouble for that. The next thing I got in trouble for was for not being hungry at breakfast time or not eating all my food at dinner. I mean, it wasn't because I wanted to be skinny or something like that. Like, I was literally just really little and could not physically eat the same amount as my older brother could. I don't understand how that one is that wrong. And on that note, one time I had some food left that I just was not hungry at all. Like, I had eaten so much. So then I said I had to go to the bathroom, then I stuffed it all in my mouth, and then I went to the bathroom and spit it out in the toilet. And when I came out, my dad had his ear to the door and he was like, bruh. And then I was sent to my room and I was crying, and then he came in and he was like, you need to apologize to your stepmom for doing that because now she thinks you hate her food. And she was just making that up to make me feel bad, obviously. She could care less. The next thing I got in trouble for was for texting somebody the poop emoji. Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble for that one. The next thing I got in trouble for was for getting car sick and throwing up in the car, and I had to clean it up after. The next thing isn't something I got in trouble for. It's just kind of a weird rule we had, that we had to ask before we could have a snack or just eat in general. We had to ask before we could eat. I don't know, I didn't really realize how weird that one is until now. But also it just doesn't make sense because it's you want me to eat all my food, but then when I'm not hungry you're mad at me, but then when I am hungry you're also mad at me. Make it make sense, pal. The next thing I got in trouble for was for bringing clothes that I bought with gift cards that my dad and stepmom gave me to my mom's house. So I wasn't allowed to bring anything from my dad's house to my mom's house, but obviously my mom didn't care, so she let me bring stuff from her house to my dad's house because the next thing is honestly just a weird story that happened, but my old babysitter for some reason told my dad that I wanted to my siblings, my little sibling, but luckily my dad believed me, and yeah. And the last thing I got in trouble for is telling him that I was happier at my mom's house, and that got me kicked out the house. The full story time is pinned on my page. Let me know if you think these are strict rules or not. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching.
Get ready with us to expose our school. Disclaimer, we did graduate high school, so this does not matter anymore. Okay, so we had this history teacher, right? And the history teacher was such a creep. He was so creepy. He was creepy looking, creepy acting. We're in his class, geography, and one day we noticed he was staring
at our legs. And mind you, this was the year we were allowed to wear skirts. Basically, we had to wear uniforms. And so we would sit at the back of the classroom facing him, and his desk would face us, and he would be staring at our legs.
We're not even exaggerating. Multiple girls have said oh yeah, he's such a creep. He would look at my legs. We're not lying.
He would watch the cheerleaders after school hours. Nobody would be there except for him and the coaches and
so weird. Okay, so I actually left his class because I had a weird encounter thing with him after school one day, and so I left his class and I reported him to the principal, and she basically told us he's different. While this
normal.
grown man is looking at little girls' legs, like you're telling me, oh, he's different. While he's watching cheerleaders, he's different?
Yeah.
That's not real. But anyways, yeah, nothing ever happened to him, so he's literally still at our school as we speak.
And also that same year when we were freshmen, we had 4 English teachers in 1 year because nobody wanted to keep their job.
We started off with this English teacher, she was mean.
Okay, so she left within like 2 weeks of the school starting. Then we had a second English teacher and he literally was there for 2 days and he only talked about his personal life. And then we had a third. Got fired because she stopped showing up. We had to sub for like 3 weeks and she came back one day and she never came back again.
And then we had like the final teacher, which like we love her.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into like the rules that were a little bit too much.
Okay, so first of all, we weren't allowed to have dirty shoes. Like you had to keep your shoes clean or like beat up. They had to be like clean.
And another rule we also had was our hair could never be dyed. So aside from brown, blonde, black, that kind of thing, could never be like red, pink, like, and like boys would have to keep their beards like maintained. They couldn't grow their hair past like, one of our friends actually like got told that he needed to cut his hair because it was too long. I feel like that's a little ridiculous. Like I get looking clean, but it's like everybody's their own person. Like I feel like you should never tell anyone what to do with their hair
style.
Yeah.
You couldn't have any piercings. Like you could have ear piercings but nothing else. Like guys also couldn't have ear piercings. I think if they had it had to be only in one ear, which at that point just let them have the other one. Girls, they couldn't have like the nose piercing or the septum or anything except for one.
Come back for part 2.
Most of these things